Good morning. Thank you all for being here at the Art of the Oracle. My name is Virginia. If you're new to the channel, I do a daily reading Monday through Friday, just to tap into the energy to find out if there is something that we could use some additional information about. So this week I've decided to work with the angels. We are using Healing with the Angels and Angel Tarot. Both are really beautiful decks of cards and great message. So let's dive in today. I always clear the decks with selenite and I say a little prayer of blessing before I begin and ask for the highest information. Now, when I tapped in, what I heard was drop the judgment. I did hear that, like drop the judgment on anything that's going on in your world. Kind of take a step back and look at what's going on before we decide we understand what's going on or before we judge it as good or bad. I love this romance card because we have got the Lovers card all week, all last 2 weeks, all in November. I felt like the Lovers was coming in really strong. And look at the first card coming out. And we have a lot of this pink and purple energy, which is beautiful, right? We have support and study. Very interesting. So this support card, so first off, it feels like for any of you that are single, it could be a time where you're going to meet somebody. Something I feel like is coming in December to help all of us, a pairing, something that we have been needing, something that would really set our heart at ease and open ourselves up to more. What I'm hearing is it's like ease, like a grace that steps in when things are just finally starting to make sense. And the support card feels like I am feeling like the Council of Light energy. And to me, I have heard information from the Council of Light, and what it appeared to be was not just one energy. It was multiple levels of different beings that come together to bring about one message, like of unity, of consciousness, of what is going on and the connectivity of all things. And that it's not, it's part of many things, this consciousness. And then I see study. And this is kind of the way I'm feeling. Let's see if we have this all in. I feel like we could bring this over a little bit. Yeah. So I feel like there are 3 areas of information that are wanting to come out for us right now. And that's why I'm putting them in this way. I feel like the most important thing is that we have support around us. So whenever things are starting to look a little bit crazy or uncertain, or just like you're going through challenges, there's a lot of people going through health challenges and work challenges and different things like that, that you have the support really of the universe, that you came here to experience what you're experiencing. And yes, the tough times as well as the good times. With that being said, I feel like support is on its way in the form of, I would highly recommend that people sit down and quiet their mind when you have a question and ask. It may not be the Council of Light, it may not be angels, it may be your own intuitive guidance. All of these things happen when we stop trying to think our way through something. So that's the most important thing, is to see that we have support. You see this angel is also being held here, but they're being held, this is romance. Now romance is different than love, right? Some person could come in and sweep you off your feet this month, in the month of December, or even this week, or even this day. And I am feeling from this card that we all need a little bit of that. We all need a little bit of excitement right now. I worked a Kundalini yoga this morning, all about the second chakra, which is our sexual energy, our romance, our fire, our passion. And that's what this is bringing in. And then we have this beautiful rainbow light energy over here, asking us to, and it feels like a higher wisdom. It doesn't feel, although it could represent you going back to school to learn something, but I feel like it's opening up to wisdom beyond like the man, what is here right here on the planet. It's this awareness opening up of something higher, something that is beyond what we currently believe or have been told or have been taught. That's what that is. It's about creating an awareness of new information. As the information comes in, to dive into it and to go into it deeper. And okay, so this is how they came out yesterday. It was in a little bit of a chunk. More 5 energy, which is around change. So let's dive in and see what we have. So the 5 energy sometimes is around conflict, right? It's we're all vying for the same thing. And it is the passionate energy that we, think of around fire, right? When we think of fire, we think of passion and excitement. But this could be some sort of conflict that's going on. The 5s represent change. Now, I don't see the 5 of Swords necessarily as conflict. This also says bothersome details. The 5s, the energy around a 5 is that it's the halfway point. You've come through life doing certain things and you're just halfway through. It could be halfway through the week. It could be halfway through the day. It could be halfway through your life. It could be halfway through your studies. Whatever it is, you know that you are in the middle and you've been here, done that, and you're going somewhere. That's what the 5 represents, is the changeover, the change point to where now you're moving in a different direction. And that's what I feel this is all about, is like, yes, it could be something that you feel like you have to compete for. Competition isn't necessarily bad. So I never see this card as a negative card, but I do see it as a card of change. And let's see the cards that are following it. We have the 7 of air and we have the 2 of air. And I love that the 7 is right here. So this is around, what is it? What do we think about what's going on? And the 7s are all around choices. It's around different options and things that we have going on. So what this says is that you need to change whatever it is that you're putting your fire into, your energy into, that there could be some things that just aren't quite working right. It could be that you have to compete with other people or something is conflicting with something you're already doing. But the 7 is around thinking of different ways on how to get out of that. So the first line here says plans need revision and more going on than you're aware of. So the 7 is asking you to kind of dig in. And I feel like that's part of what all this is. And then we have the 2 next to it. The 2, a lot of times when you see it in tarot, it's either 2 swords, like these 2 horns here, and they're locking, right? And it's almost like a stalemate, right? It says pretending there's no problem. And it does say a stalemate here. So we have all this beautiful support around us. And then we have this thing that it feels like we have to change something about where our energy is going. There's going to be something that is going to force the change, I feel like, because there's going to be competition or conflict or something like that. And it's going to force us to kind of think outside the box a little bit. And it also says here that something could be just the wrong time, right? It needs to be done in a different manner, right? It's just not right now. But whatever it is, there's something that needs to change and you need to take a look at the options. With this 2 of air, it's telling me that something is going to stall, something is going to stop in terms of this forward progression. Now remember that we have all this support around us, all this higher wisdom, and that's what I feel like with this, like him holding her and this energy of all these. If you look at it, we have angels, we have all these wisdom. It looks like, like druids and fairies and Indian shamans and just mystics, hands of light. All these different people are here in support right now of the planet, and you live here on the planet. So these are the overall themes, but we're kind of stuck in the middle. And I saw that yesterday, like we're stuck in the middle of some like tricky energies here. And I got two sets of cards that kind of flipped up to me. So we're going to take a look at what these three are. Yeah. So this is a major, wow, we have three major arcana cards that flipped up together. The 8, this is around balancing something that you've already been working towards. This is Archangel Raguel. I hope I said that right. Fair and just decisions. Do what you know is right. Stand up. So I feel like this is like we have these major support systems that are here for us, and that we have some choices that we have to make, because some things are not the way. That's what I saw yesterday, is that there was a lot of endings, and some things are moving in. These are minor things, but they're the day-to-day things that you have to work out, right? These are things that things aren't just going the way we want them to go right now. And I feel like that may be in the beginning of this week or the beginning of this month in December. And then because we have all this support, we are literally being held in support, is that the balancing of all this has to come to bear. And I love that it's, kind of leaning almost towards the study. It's like we're going to this. I don't feel like it's study like open book study, although it could be. I feel like it's about learning something that we haven't seen before. Something is coming in because it's creating a new beginning. This is Archangel Metatron, and it's opening something up to show us that all of this sticky business, I feel like, is just like the end of the year. It's just the end of what this whole 2025 is about. Lots of changes, lots of things coming and going. That's what this 2025, I feel like, has been about. And there's balancing that happens. How we did, we'll almost like get a report card. We'll find out, how did we do in all this, right? Let's see if I can put this final card over here. Yep, I think that's in there. And the moon. So the moon represents Archangel Haniel, and it also represents the divine feminine in a big way. But it represents this unseen thing, this thing that we're unaware of. And please forgive the really long reading. I hope you're enjoying all the information, because there are two more cards over here on the side that I'm deciding whether or not to come in. So is also about psychic awareness, and that makes sense to me. That's what I was feeling like with this study card, is that it's higher wisdom and information coming in for us right now, and that we're going to see things in a new way. Everything's going to open up, and that we are supported. And I feel like if you feel like you have not had the support that you need, that I feel like something is changing. And I love that it's romance, but it may not be that exactly. It may not be that kind of romance, although it could. But I do feel like you're getting what you need, like the supportive energy around that is coming in for you, and for all of us, actually. And there is like a wild card. That's what I feel like with this 18. It says, release fears that hold you back. Because you're being held, you're being supported. And this is something that we're going to see open and revealed. Now, these are interesting because these are the last two cards that I'm going to show. The Two of Earth, this is all about like what we're going to experience right now. And it looks like, from what I can read here, is that we're going to feel somewhat overwhelmed, right? We have the Two of Earth, and you need to make a decision on how you're going to go forward. But at the same time, I feel like whatever this is, it's going to move quickly into the thing. And it's right here over this justice, right? I'm feeling like we're divinely protected, and this two energy is kind of helping things. It's telling us about the balance that is coming back into our day-to-day activity, and that a very happy, very financial, we're going to find the magic. It's going to come back in towards the end of the month, or towards the end of the week, or even if all of this is transpiring for you during a day. It's like if it could be that these things are really coming to be. But I almost feel like it's telling us the beginning of the month, that like in the first week of the month, there's going to be a lot going on, and that we're going to learn new information. But in the end, it's going to create exactly what we need and move us in that direction. So thank you so much for being here at the Art of the Oracle. I'd love to hear from you, so leave me a comment. Let me know how this resonates with you. And if you have a desire for any particular style reading, like I did the angels this week, and last week I worked with the birds. So thank you again for being here. Until tomorrow, have an amazing day. Bye now.